Today we're going to talk about the entrepreneurial challenge of wearing multiple hats. We're going to discuss knowing what you should take on and what you should either delegate or outsource. The title of this episode is, Can You Really Do It All? Like most entrepreneurs, you're probably faced with wearing all the different hats and doing so many different things that you don't really know where it ends. It just seems like an endless list of to-dos. When you're in bootstrapping mode, it makes sense to try to do it all. We don't want to pay money for things that we think that we can learn ourselves. So what type of things should we keep in-house? When should we learn to let go and outsource? We're going to dive into these questions and more today. A lot of what you should take on depends on how good you are at what you do. If you've got a product idea, for example, are you able to design it, 3D print it, test it, and more? If so, that's great, and you should do those things as you'll probably do them well without having to spend a whole lot of time learning anything new. Now, if you have zero expertise in these areas, it might make more sense to bring someone else on board who can get the work done, within reason, of course. A lot of it depends on your situation. Are you working full-time and strapped for time to commit to learning new things? If so, you may need outside support. I've been off from a full-time job for 7 months now, and I've learned so much. This is directly due to the fact that I did not have to drive to and from a job that required me to physically be there for 9 hours every weekday. I could literally wake up, sit my butt at the computer desk, and start learning and working. I taught myself how to build a website on WordPress.com, which isn't particularly difficult, but it does take time to actually learn and figure out all the buttons and how everything works. I learned how to build opt-in pages and sales funnels using ClickFunnels. I learned how to use MailChimp to develop autoresponder email campaigns so that once someone signs up to my sales funnel, they immediately start receiving emails with different affiliate links from the Amazon affiliate program, as well as ClickBank, which is another affiliate site. And anytime that anybody buys products or services through those links that I refer them to, I'll get a small commission. So this all took several hours and attempts before I could feel comfortable building each thing from scratch. I assure you that there are hours of videos out there. There are tons of articles on every one of these different tools that I mentioned just now, and you can spend countless days and weeks learning and implementing new things. So that's exactly what I did, and I can only imagine how much longer it would have taken to learn those things if I had been working full time. I totally remember coming home after a long day of work, being too tired to really do anything, and I personally love working out and eating healthy, so that requires cooking, then you got to do the cleaning, and then you got to go back to sleep because you got work the next day. So the beauty of not being in a full-time job was that I was able to utilize my time how I wanted to really learn the things that I thought I needed to learn. And those things have really paid off. If you go to chrisbello.com, not to toot my own horn, but I have a lot of things going on over there. So other than blog posts and podcast updates, everything's basically on autopilot. If you sign up for my flipping course and you opt in for the free PDF, you'll immediately receive emails. And then if you want to sign up for the course, it's already set up. All you need to do is pay, and you get full access to all the video content I have on there, etc. So you can see how I've made this automated, and I'm hands-off as possible. A lot of time was required up front in creating the content and the products, but now it should be very passive. I've purchased courses on Udemy for digital marketing, but I've already invested so much time in learning things across the board that I'm kind of ready to start driving traffic. I tried a couple Facebook ads myself just after watching a few videos here and there, but I haven't had a whole lot of success yet. So I'd still like to learn more about Facebook ads and Google AdWords, but right now, just to get started, I'm actually utilizing freelancer sites such as Upwork.com and Freelancer.com to have people just quote me for the types of advertisements that I'm looking to do. This way I can just pay someone else overseas much less than I'd have to pay to someone locally in the US, and I can start getting work done today on driving traffic to these sites and these sales funnels that I've already spent so many hours building. So sometimes you just need to draw a line and accept that you're going to have to pay somebody else who's an expert at their craft to help you. Either you can pay someone to get started today, or you can spend weeks and months learning it yourself, at which point you could argue that you've potentially lost out on sales and revenue for all of those months. What I suggest doing is to make a list of all the skills and the things that you know. Make another list of all the things that you'd like to know and to learn on your own. And then you should make a final list of the things that you don't really think are important for you to know. Now, they might be important for your business, but maybe not for you to actually know yourself. And these things in the last category, in this last list, are the things that you need to delegate to others on your team or outsource to other companies or freelancers. And that'll clear up a lot of your time so that you can focus on what you are good at in your business core competencies. So I actually started exploring the world of hiring freelancers after reading Tim Ferriss's 4-Hour Workweek. He suggested getting VAs or virtual assistants who can handle all sorts of tasks for you, opening up your schedule to do other things. I hired my first freelancer using Upwork.com, and I've had a great experience. I did some time reading reviews and submitted proposals from freelancers to end up finding the best fit. I wanted to make sure that I was hiring someone who had a lot of experience, had good reviews, and was able to communicate easily in English, because a lot of these guys are not from the US where you're going to get the best pricing, but you want to make sure that you can communicate effectively and that there's no gaps there. So I was looking for someone who could give me a list of leads, particularly small businesses that are mom and pop shops in my area that could possibly need website, photography, or videography help. So my freelancer actually used data scraping to pull mailing and email addresses, contact names, and even more information in just a day. This would have taken me hours longer, as I don't know how to scrape the web for big amounts of data. And actually, when I was starting this off, I looked at Google and I just typed in restaurants near me, small businesses near me. I did 3 or 4 lines in Excel of copying from Google and pasting into Excel different businesses, their names, their numbers, and their email addresses. I just had read the 4-Hour Workweek not long before, and I said, why am I wasting time? It took me 10 minutes to put 2 together. So instead, I spent 30 minutes talking to a freelancer, did a couple chats back and forth. You can also talk to them on Skype or Google Hangout if you like. And my total time invested ended up being 30 minutes messaging the freelancer. Total cost to me was $18. And he pulled together a contact list of 200 leads. I have not sent any direct mailers yet, but I already have a lead just from mass emailing the list that he sent me. Really consider checking out freelancer sites and automating parts of your business. Tim even said in his book that his emails are read and summarized by a virtual assistant. So he literally checks in with his VA every so often and gets a summarized version of all the emails. After that, he tells the VA which ones to respond to, which ones to ignore, etc. And I guess he personally follows up on the ones that are more critical in his opinion. Key takeaways from this episode: as entrepreneurs, we want to do it all. We like having control and having the final say. However, we are limited in resources, and time is our most valuable asset. Sometimes it's best to outsource things that are not our core competencies so we can focus on the things that we are good at. Daily motivation. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. There is no point of dwelling on what could have happened in the past, so start taking action today for a better tomorrow. Actionable steps. Make a list of things that you are good at, things that you aren't good at that you'd like to learn, and the things that you don't think that you particularly need to learn. Start seeking freelancers to fill in the gaps and take over parts of your business or tasks that you don't want to spend your time doing. This frees up time for you to focus on what's important, whether that be other areas of your business or more free time in your personal life. Whatever is more important to you in your life, that's what you want to clear up time in your schedule to be able to do. With that, I'm signing off for today. Feel free to contact me with any comments or questions at chrisbello.com. And remember, less dreaming, more doing.